I'm sure you saw the footage of what happened with that Raj Jackson and sykostu.
I watched it one time and I refuse to watch it a second time. Like, I don't need to see those blows or anything. Like, it's very triggering to me. And it's because I was always afraid to die in the ring. And then I believe I saw recently that Raj dude was booked somewhere. And like, I'm
Oh
like, wait,
yeah, of
what? What is
course he
going
is.
on? Like, I don't understand. This is so freaking weird.
Shelly, I know you being in your SoCal gal. Um, with I'm sure you saw the footage of what happened with that Raj Jackson and sykostu. Do you know anybody from that crew, from that Knox Pro?
I don't. I am aware of Knox Pro. When I was in my second round of the indies, I never really I maybe worked for them, I don't remember, but it wasn't anything consistent if I did. So I don't know that crew or anything, but let me tell you something. That footage to this day, like it's been a little bit like tomorrow will be a week is or was yesterday a week, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, a little time has gone by, but I'm still very affected. Like, I watched it one time and I refuse to watch it a second time. Like, I don't need to see those blows or anything. Like, it's very triggering to me. And the reason why I'm not trying to make it about me, but since you asked,
Well,
one of my biggest fears in my wrestling career that I didn't even realize this is what I carried with me until I got out of the business is I had this extra layer of pure anxiety. And it's because I was always afraid to die in the ring or suffocate in the ring or pass out in the ring. That was like something, and it's because it stems back to early on in my career. Somebody really took liberties with me and it traumatized me. But what's so freaking crazy is I didn't realize that's what it was, like I said, until I got out of wrestling. So for me, watching that just that one time, that's like my fear because he got it way worse than I did in my situation. So the whole thing bothers me. Like there's so many layers to it that just like, and then that adds to why it still bothers me. So it's bad
yeah.
enough. My worst fear I'm seeing happen to somebody in such a disgusting way, like such a disgusting way.
It's all bad, top to bottom. You have like a physical reaction, like trauma. That's what trauma is,
Yes,
right?
dude, and so I'm just like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, and so I can't, dude, I
Yeah.
can't. It's such a weird. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's there's so many degrees of wrong happening from top to bottom. Uh, it's an abhorrent. Nobody There's very few acts that would have somebody deserve what that individual Psycho Stu, the wrestler, endured. That's just and it's disgusting and when I say all bad, it's bad on a human level. Um, it's bad because I'm going to get even a little more shallow here. That's what people who don't watch wrestling think wrestling is now, if it's not WWE. And I think it's bad on a societal level because why hasn't he been arrested? Nothing's been done. You know, it's terrible. It never should have happened. It was terrible decision making, top to bottom. Uh, but I didn't mean to start a downer, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on
No,
that.
because I've been wanting to talk about this and it just hasn't, excuse me, come up. Here's the thing. Okay, so this is what bothers me the most. First of all, the obvious. What happened when he was taking those blows, okay? But what also bothers me is why did he hit him with that can? Like, I understand the story is that he thought he was a wrestler, whatever, but that doesn't, I've never been, I mean, I was in the business for 17 years and I've never seen, and I've seen ribs, like whatever, whatever, but I've never seen someone be like, oh, there's a camera. That guy must be a wrestler. So I'm going to come in on it. So that whole thing, it just weirds me out, and my whole question is, why did that still doesn't make sense to me why that happened. And as a professional wrestler, you cannot tell me those punches weren't real. Like those were real, okay? Those were real. I don't care. So, and then another thing is, you know, when people are like arguing and like saying whatever, at the end of the day, how do you pronounce his name again? I'm sorry, Raja.
Psycho Stu is his wrestling name.
No, no, the other fellow, the
Oh,
Rampage.
Raj
Raj.
Jackson.
Okay, or Jackson. So the Raj guy, he's a trained fighter. Just like in
He's a weapon.
professional wrestling, we are trained professional wrestlers. Yes, there's a lot of real to it, but it's a performance. Whereas when you're a trained fighter, it is, yeah, there's no performance to it, whatever, whatever, but it's to inflict legitimate pain onto somebody. It's different. It's
Yeah.
so different. And so, dude, it's just like you said, there's so many layers, but it bothers me. Like, why? And then I, as a person who saw the video with the blows, feel guilty because now I feel like I don't want to put any heat on the guy because I saw what happened to him, but I can't shake this feeling that why did he do that? Because if that was me, and like, let's say he gimmicked it and it didn't even hit me, like some people are saying, it was just all gimmick, right?
You don't even need
So,
to gimmick a empty can. So what? You know what I mean?
but,
It's an
like, if
empty
someone
can.
did that to me and, like, the can didn't even hit me, let's say, but
Right.
I just walked in and dude, back in the day, I was a vlogger before vlogging, okay? I
Yeah.
was a vlogger before vlogging, so I was taking my camera and so say that was me, and I went in there and some dude did that, even if it was work, I would be so pissed. I
It
would
would have
be
gone down right
so
there.
pissed. Yes,
Not
exactly.
not an hour or two
1000%.
later. Right
No.
there. And no
Right
one would have
there.
blamed him to hit him right there. Just one.
So, it's like I get why the Raj dude felt disrespected because I would have been felt disrespected too. And if there was they were not in on it, that's the whole argument, right? What's
Right.
real and what's a work? Um, then it's weird behavior. Like, why would you do that, dude? Like, why would you do that? And I know some people are saying, well, maybe there's drinking involved, this and that. But I've also been in locker rooms where drinking is involved and people are acting like how they shouldn't, but they're still not doing something like that. So then I think, is this just where we are in wrestling? Because I haven't been a part of the business. So I'm like, I feel almost like this thing is making me feel like I'm the crazy one because I can't piece together anything that makes sense of it. None of it makes sense. None of it. And I don't understand it. And then I believe I saw recently that Raj dude was booked somewhere, and, like, I'm
Oh,
like, "Wait,
yeah. Of
what? What is
course he
going
is.
on?" Like, I don't understand this. Is so freaking weird, and as a person who dedicated themselves for 17 years of my life to professional wrestling, I'm offended. I'm offended by the whole situation, and then, like, there goes the guilt. I picture this dude, and I picture him getting, like, what I saw, and then I feel like a jerk, but it's
Could it be? I mean, I had a few thoughts. Number one, you're absolutely right. The business is not the way you left it. It's not. Anybody can do this now. And that's a problem. It's a problem. How do I say this without sounding like an So I would never tell anybody not to chase their dreams. And this guy, Stu, did it because he had PTSD from the war. But wrestling isn't therapy necessarily. At some point, it's a business, and it has to be taken seriously and not just therapy because you're putting your lives in each other's hands, right? So I don't know if he was somebody that the boys kind of wound up. You know what I'm saying? How they do, but you're
yeah.
right. It's a baffling situation top to bottom.
It is so interesting that you mention it like that because another thing that I didn't realize until I mean, I retired from wrestling in 2017.
Mhm.
And about 2023-ish, 24-ish is when I started having these realizations. So it was a while for me. And a lot of it had to do with my work and within myself because it was very difficult for me to retire because no one asked me to. I decided to. And so when I look back, I realize the reason why I rode so hard for wrestling was because I was in an abusive relationship, I couldn't escape it, but wrestling gave me the confidence because dudes used to try to beat me up when I go to training to see if I really wanted to be a wrestler or not. It's the brother thing back in the day. Not condoning it, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
So that toughened me up and I learned how to protect myself and I gained confidence because I was over here doing wrestling. So I have been butthurt over things in wrestling and take it so personal because to me, that's what helped me escape finally this dude. So I understand. That's where the guilt comes in with this dude. It was a therapy before I didn't realize it until, like I said, a couple years ago that that's why wrestling so then I relate to Stu because wrestling saved me from this dude. He probably would have killed me if I stayed with him.
Wow.
And I didn't want to stay with him. I had to find a way out. And I did with wrestling. So with Stu, that's what bothered me even more because I get that. And it's in a different way, but I get it. And oh man, it bothers me on so many levels. And like I said, nothing makes sense of it. And I just like, dude, I guess I'm just gonna wait like everybody else and see what happens.
And see how it goes. Yeah, it's a pretty terrible situation.